guess I go first. Real quick, I want to just... All right, everybody squeeze together real quick. It's unfortunate that she wasn't more hated, then this would be a lot easier to plan. I was thinking, do I just go up there and do I wing it? But there's no way I would get through that. So I wrote it down. Yeah. How many complete memories do I have of my mom? We've been through a lot. In 2002, when I was about 16, I remember seeing my mom on the gurney with her head shaved, ready to go into surgery to remove the tumor that was the size of a grapefruit, or a man's fist, the way my dad says. A tumor that was putting pressure on her brain, causing these intense migraines. That's an obvious story. It's an intense experience. But I remember not feeling scared or worried then. I remember thinking that everything was going to be okay. And maybe that was because I didn't understand the gravity of the situation fully, or maybe I wasn't mature enough to see how many other parts of my life it would impact. I didn't worry though. And even though they said she might not have normal brain function again, let alone survive, my mom pulled through, flying colors. I remember her rubbing my back when I couldn't fall asleep, or giving me a kiss on the cheek when she sent me off to school, or singing Christmas carols with the family every year. I wrote the speech that I'm telling you now a few weeks ago. It's changed a bit. I wrote it because I'd just gotten off the phone with my mom. Her cancer, which she had finished her first few sessions of chemo only a few months before that, was back and was moving faster than they could keep up with. It had spread all over her body. And even though it was not looking good, she would not give up. That's not who my mom is. She fought right up until Jesus came for her. When I originally wrote this, it was just word vomit. It was me just trying to process what I had just heard, trying to deal with all the weird new emotions of the moment. And this is going to sound like a strange segue. Stay with me. I've been thinking a lot about a comic book called The Watchmen. It's a brilliant graphic novel. But aside from the plot, there's a character called Dr. Manhattan. He's accidentally killed in a science experiment, only to come back as a superhero with godlike powers. And he's blue and he's naked. Part of those powers deal with time. You see, of all of his powers, I found this one the most interesting. He experiences time all at once. Every part of time for him is present. It's a weird form of time travel. Conversations in the future he will have and have had are right next to each other, which leads to a wild plot line and some very confusing chapters. But it has become something deeper for me. His memories aren't just memories. He's there in that moment, living it like he's there, tied to the ever-present reality of that event. It made me wonder, can I do that? Can I look back on my life and try to recall so many details that I can be there again, just for another moment? Can I live in that presence again? Can I see my mom after she's gone from this world by closing my eyes and remembering the moments we shared? When she cried while we danced at my wedding, and I could feel the weight of her arms around me while she breathlessly tried to sing along. Every time she looked at me with anger or disappointment for getting home so late, to see her laugh with tears in her eyes over some toilet humor that her and my dad were making after a long car ride. To hear her sing so beautifully her rendition of Baby of Mine from Dumbo. I wish I could say that I could. It's like watching a bad VHS Or for the younger in the audience, it's like YouTube with no Wi-Fi, and you're not on 4G. My memories, even at their best, are full of holes. I can picture faces or imagine the timbre of a voice, but I can't recall the scent in the air or how hot or cold it was, what clothes they were wearing. There'll always be missing pieces of the picture. These memories are there, just locked in place, filling with holes slowly the further away they get, like photos left out in the rain. A superpower that could let me relive my moments. Not change them, just relive the moments. That would be better than flight or telepathy or whatever. To be there again, so I could appreciate it for what it really was. A gift. Every moment and every day, a gift. Right up until the end. You might ask, Justin, what do we do about the things that end? Well, in the critically acclaimed graphic novel The Watchmen, a character asks Dr. Manhattan if he knew that, in the end, what he had done was right. In the end. He simply replied, nothing ever ends. It's a truth that I hold on to dearly. When my mom passed away, my life kept going. The world hasn't ended, as hard as it seems to be trying to end. And just like the rest of our lives, in stark defiance to my mother and her life, they will carry on. But so will her life, just not with us. We are all immortal souls trapped in mortal bodies. And we will have to answer one day for our short time here on earth. I hold so tightly to the truth that if I do as she asked, follow the Lord with all my heart, soul, spirit, and strength, that someday I will see my mom again. I'll rejoice with her again. I know that the Lord has a special place for her that he's been waiting to share with her. And I want to share in that as well. So I will keep living my life and working towards the things I wanted to share with her, because one day I will get to do just that. I'll probably have lots more wonderful memories in my life. My mom spent a lifetime praying for me, so I'm sure the Lord has some in the pipeline. But I do know that the fact that I was born from such an incredible woman is the greatest miracle that I will ever experience in my entire life. It's not goodbye, it's just see you later. Thank you.